Okay, nakipag-usap pa rin tayo kay Princess Jaisal Kiram. Ang ating pong pinag-uusapan ay the recovery of Sabah. You were talking about education. Okay, first question, how are you approaching educating the next generation? You know, this is a marathon and we're passing the baton, the relay of our nationalist flame in recovering this territory from one generation to the next progeny. That's my first question. My second question is, are we touching the national consciousness of the millennials, the young generation who's looking out there for a commitment that they can tweet about, they can Facebook about, you know what I mean? So, how's that? Two questions.
Well, una, sabi ko, kahit tayo, no, we need to study deeper pagdating sa historia ng Pilipinas and the pre-story of Philippines, no?
Okay.
Ano ba ang Pilipinas before it was discovered?
Yes.
1521 when it was discovered.
Yes.
So what were we before
that,
1521?
Yes. Okay.
And last year, we celebrated the 600-year relationship of the Sulu-China friendship.
Okay.
So this happened 1417, Eric.
Okay.
When the Sultan of Sulu visited the emperor. And the emperor at that time was Emperor Yongle. When the Sultan of Sulu visited him, the Sultan brought with him 300 people.
Okay.
But on his way back to Sulu, he died.
Okay.
And when the emperor learned about this, ipinalibing siya doon mismo kung saan siya namatay, sa Dezu, in Shandong province.
And he's there.
The tomb is there.
Okay.
And it's well taken care of by the government. Sabi ko sa iyo, kapag pumunta ka sa Sulu, tignan mo ang libingan ng mga past sultans doon. As part of history, kawawa yung mga libingan.
I believe you.
But if you go to China,
Shandong,
in Dezu, you will see how big the tomb is. Parang, oh my God, hektarya, Eric.
He's treated as a royal, as should be.
Yes, and the second time I went there, when I was trying to organize the event, the 600-year anniversary, they gave me the letter of the emperor. It's a replica lang naman.
Okay, yes.
Replica of the letter of the emperor to the Sultan of Sulu.
Okay.
Sayang, hindi ko nadala.
It's a fax. It's a fax.
Yes.
Or is it a Xerox?
No, it's a calligraphy.
Okay.
Ganun. They made it for 10 days daw. So, kinopya talaga, kopyang-kopya. It's a replica of the letter ng emperor ng China.
It's on your Facebook? It's on your...
No, it's not. It's so big that I cannot photograph.
How big is the...
I think you can hang it from that end to that end. Itong wall na ito.
Okay.
Ganon kahaba yung sulat. Tinatry ko ipa-photograph.
Take a picture and then ilagay sa Facebook because that would be interesting, you know. I'd like to have a copy of that and then it can be interpreted by some of the Chinese scholars.
Plus, in China pala, like you can just have that, this was written during Ming Dynasty because in every dynasty, there's a stroke, they have different stroke in writing.
Okay.
So they can determine, based on the writing stroke, anong dynasty yung sinulat. So sabi ko, if you can't have it, ako hindi ko na pag-aralan yan dito sa Pilipinas about the Sulu and China history. I've learned this in China. And
in China?
Yes.
Okay.
And China, it's a known fact that China is a great keeper of history.
Yes.
Lahat dinadokumento nila.
Yes.
To the extent, yung pag-visit ng isang admiral, no? Kung ilang beses siya dumaan dun sa karagatan ng Sulu. That's why I think dun nag-start yung friendship.
You're not talking about Zheng He.
Zheng He. Alam mo, ang hirap ng pronunciation.
Zheng He. Yeah.
Admiral.
Zheng He. Zheng He. Yeah, ganun ang pronunciation. And then.
Ayun.
So you were able to see it personally?
Yes. And ang nakakatuwa pa dito, I met the relatives who stayed there. Kasi the two sons of the Sultan stayed in China.
Okay.
So, nung tumira sila doon, binigyan sila lahat ng support that they needed. The Emperor of China gave it to them. To include the cook. Ngayon, itong cook na ito still cooks for the family because he owns the restaurant I think that's the only restaurant in that village. And the recipe is from the 14th century recipe of his ancestors. So,
pero parang Chinese na sila? Or do they still look parang Malay?
No, medyo Chinese-looking na sila because they intermarried eh. Nag-asawa na ng mga Chinese. And meron pang isang libro doon saying na yung mga datu na nag-asawa ng Chinese commoner, kinonfer ng emperor yung babae as a princess.
Okay.
Kasi parang...
So they're basically your relatives?
Yes, basically a relative.
Distant relatives,
and there are also, they are the Wen and the An family. So ngayon, in Beijing, when I went to Beijing, the last time I went to Beijing, they invited us to, I think it's part of Beijing, it's a district, na puro An ang pamilya.
Okay.
They migrated there 300 years ago from Dezu.
Okay.
So may mosque, may lahat. Muslim, Arabic speaking yung iba. They know how to speak Arabic.
They trace their roots all the way to...
Yes, to the Sulu Sultan.
This is very interesting, huh?
Just recently, we had a visitor from the An family who wants to have a photo exhibit for the anniversary again of Filipino and Chinese Friendship Day. That's going to be in June. So my suggestion is for that to be, to hold that in
How many times have
Zamboanga.
How many times have you been there?
3 times.
Okay. And every time you go there, you discover something new? Something, that touches your heart?
Yes. Before it was all a story.
Okay.
And then from that story, on my next visit, I was able to see the village head, and then another relative from the An and the Wen.
Okay.
And
Walang natirang kiram or nobody?
Hindi, walang kiram. They
kiram.
adopted the name, the Chinese name that was given to them by the emperor, Wen and An.
Okay. But are they themselves aware of their own roots? They
Yes.
know of the stories?
Yes.
Okay.
The reason why we had, why we are in contact with them now is
Yes.
because the eldest male in their family, his dying wish was to be able to see the place of his ancestor.
Okay.
Meaning the Sultan's place. So that's in Holo, in Sulu. So in 2005, Teresita Angsi brought them to Sulu.
Okay. Oh, God, this is a really long story that, it would be interesting sana kung makita natin, And you discovered this not through university, nobody's teaching us about this.
Nobody's teaching us that in the Philippines. Kaya nga po, sana, panawagan ko yan because this story is not
even
only,
MSU?
I don't know about MSU.
No, honestly.
But ang sa akin lang, Eric, this story is not about because I'm a princess of Sulu.
Yes.
We're from the Sultanate of Sulu, or a member of, kung tausug ka, Muslim ka, from Mindanao ka. But this story can add pride to our being a people as a Filipino. Kasi hindi totoo that when the Spaniards came here in the Philippines in 1521, they went here and discovered us doing nothing. Like as if we are savages, we don't know nothing. We know nothing.
Princess Jaisal, just before you, previously, I had as guest Omo Bono Adasa. And I was saying that we have a richer, wealthier history than many of our Asian neighbors. My goodness.
Correct.
Sila, isa lang founder nila. Then they're a young nation. We're so rich that, my goodness, they would like to even adopt some of our own heroes.
Alam mo, before, palagi ko sinasabi na, the Kirams, the Sultanate of Sulu, hindi mayaman. Pobre kami. Binabawi ko na ho yun. Hindi ho kami pobre. Napakayaman namin sa kasaysayan at kultura.
Yes.
Because having these roots that, seldom that you can find a person that can trace his roots way up to the 14th century.
Yes. I don't know whether you call it a historical Hajj, but don't you think you can come up with some kind of a, people would like to go there, and then it's part of the trip. You go to Shandong, Desu, and then, di ba? But no school is teaching us about these things, no?
I don't know. Hindi ako sigurado kung anong tinuturo ng eskwelahan about. But basta ang alam ko lang, when I was studying history, para mga ilang pages pa yan about the Sultanate of Sulu, but there was no mention of China, of Sultan Batara who died in China, no? Pero when my daughter was studying began studying yung history class niya, parang not even a page of the story about the Sultanate.
Not even a footnote?
Ay, siguro mga ganyan lang
kalaki. Maiksi lang.
About the Sultanate of Sulu.
And this is even in Mindanao. This is Southern Mindanao school that you're talking about?
No, here in Manila.
And how about in Southern Mindanao? Do they, as I said,
I
MSU
think mas
or...
lalo na eh. Parang hindi naman, you know, if you know the history, you will be proud of the...
Precisely. I am proud of it just listening to it, no? And, oh my goodness. This is why my question is very relevant. What are we doing to inculcate in the new generation regarding, you know, the hidden nooks and crannies of Philippine history? You know, Southern Mindanao history, the Kiram family, all part of present and current events. What happened to the Kiram family is still current events to this day. That's why we have Sabah. That's why we have a problem with Malaysia.
But it's sad to say that Kiram family stays just like an ordinary family in the Philippines.
Yes.
Na wala nga eh. Like the things with all the things that is happening in Mindanao, from the peace talks to the BBL to federalism, malaki ang role. Sorry, not because I'm a Kiram, no?
Oh, it makes so much sense.
Malaki ang role ng pamilyang ito.
Of course.
Sa paghubog ng kasaysayan ng Pilipinas at sa pagharap sa kinabukasan.
I'd like to say this, no? Your family has moral ascendancy over the entire issue, as far as I'm concerned, no? Because, my goodness, it's this family that added another big chunk of territory to the Philippine Republic. And here we are, we're arguing about West Philippine Sea, about Benham Rice, and here we are, we're not even giving, you know, a few days or a few months discussion on issues such as this, no? Ang laki ng, as far as I'm concerned, malaki ang utang ng gobyerno sa pamilya ninyo, no? I have some ideas about it, but here's the thing. I remember when Vice President Binay ran for president, he had this in the forefront of his advocacy. Correct or not? What was his concept? What was his idea?
The reason why he got me to run with him as a senator, kahit hindi naman ho talaga ako politiko, ang pangkumbento sa akin ni VP Binay then was, hindi mo ba nakikita na napakagandang avenue na nito for you to be able to voice out your advocacy to the entire nation?
Yes.
Because when I become president, I will get Sabah back for the Philippines. So dapat preparado na daw ang mga kababayan natin. Alam na nila ang issue ng Sabah. And alam mo, kung hindi man nanalo si VP Binay as president, si President Duterte as president, dala-dala rin niya ang advocacy na ito to get Sabah back for the Filipinos.
Did he clearly state it during the campaign?
Yes.
Okay. Please say it again so that, you know, he is reminded and people are reminded of this commitment, because ang ganda ng sinabi ni VP Binay, no? When I become president, I will recover Sabah, which is the same words Diosdado Macapagal said to my father when they were on a boat ride. When Macapagal was able to get the Turtle Islands, and sabi niya, my father said, why only stop with the Turtle Islands, Mr. Vice President at that time? Why not Sabah? And then it just occurred to Diosdado Macapagal. He said, yeah, that's right. When I become president, I'll go after Sabah.
Well, sa news, makikita natin na may mga pronouncements si Pangulong Duterte that he will get Sabah back, and that one way of resolving the peace and order problem in Mindanao is to correct historical injustices.
To right the unrightable wrongs.
To bear the unbearable sorrow.
Parang impossible dream, ano? But we have to continue pushing.
Well, nothing is possible.
Yes.
Ang kailangan lang naman natin dito, determinasyon.
Determination, yes.
And will to do it for the Filipinos. Because, Eric, $72 billion is not a joke.
Yes.
Ang laki-laki ng maitutulong nito sa bansang Pilipinas.
Saan ito this is for 1 year, no?
For 1 year.
Okay.
Income of Sabah.
Okay. We're going to pause for a final reminder, and then when we come back, we'll talk about BBL and then federalism, and then how has the government, you know, gotten in touch with the Kiram family with regards to these issues when we return.